Hello everyone. Today is October the 15th. I was attacked all night. I couldn't get up because they kept making it so I couldn't breathe, and while they were making my head sting, I could feel them killing me by making it all night where I couldn't breathe and making me so brainless, attacking me that I was starting to lose my circulation. They made it so my hands kept stinging and I couldn't lift my arm, and they did this for several hours, and today I can't take a full breath after their attacks, and they said they're going to do this to weaken my heart till I'm dead. They did this to my father. They crippled him. They told me they were going to give him a heart attack, and they did. And they told me they were going to give his girlfriend a stroke 2 weeks before they did. And then like a month ago, they said they were going to give him another heart attack because I wouldn't give them my land and leave my home, and they did. So my dad was better, and he was in, his mind strong and everything. And so they show me pictures of a brain being controlled and a heart as strings, and say that they've got my heart, his brain to control. And they said they're making me watch them destroy him, and they just want to torture me for the ultimate evil rush. And last night they sent me, I'm having trouble getting enough oxygen in my brain to make a lot of sense. And yesterday they sent me a trailer to a movie called, what was it called? I never seen anything with that name. It was something to do with witches, and the trailer had this guy telling these three witches they were the most powerful witches in the world, and he wanted them to combine their power. And he was saying, and they were telling me they're the witches that weren't burnt in the Salem witch trials. It's all corny rubbish. And so I pray to God, and that's why they're killing me. They said join them to give them the force they need, combining their power. I say a prayer when I get up, and I embrace God and say, I'm just a vessel with Him flowing through me because He was my divine creator, and that I only want His love and light to go through me for His higher glory. And every day I thank Him for creating me, and I just tell Him that I'm grateful for the joy of life, and I only want to use my vessel for higher good, and that's how I live. And they want to kill me because those are the prayers I say. And they hear everything with their surveillance, and they send me Star Wars things and Illuminati things and all that. But they're killing me because I am not diabolical. I am not a mean person. I avoid things that have to do with the dark side. They told me yesterday, embrace demons. Hell no. I have God in me, and all I want is what's already in me. And I don't let some external thing in me, because I have all the peace and happiness within through human life, through God, and the power to transcend through all this strife. And that's just the way I see me, and I am able to enjoy life to the fullest because of my connection to Christ. I remember in high school, the boys in the English class used to tease me and say I was always high without drugs, and I started to get an inferiority complex because I was always joyful, even though there was hard times in my life, and I deep down I was sorrowful too because of so much mourning and seeing grandparents die and uncles get sick and stuff. See, I had this sorrow all the time in the back of my mind, but there was something about my spirit that always stayed high through anything, through car accidents, through poverty, through everything. My spirit was always high. And everybody resented me for it because I saw kids around me doing drugs and stuff to try to get the rush that I had naturally. But I didn't think ill of anyone. I cared about everyone because I saw Christ in everyone. And that's what got me messed up by these people. They said I had blind trust, and they said, this one particular person said, I'm going to remove those rose-colored glasses. And he says, as he's been killing me slowly, when he finally kills me, he wants to cross over with me somehow in spirit and show me hell. He says, take me to hell. But he's torturing me in the meanwhile, he said, to try to make me lose my connection to Christ, which I think is impossible. I only see myself as this vessel that's filled with light and energy and power through God, through my faith. And I don't care what twisted shit this person does to me as they're killing me, taking away my vision and everything. But so they're attacking my relatives because they want to hurt me, because they know they can't hurt me by destroying Sherry, because then I just embrace God harder. And so they're just twisted to the lowest degree, and they want a planet where people do embrace an outside evil force. And they think that this evil force has the power to dominate my mind if they weaken it. They can't change my soul, see. They might destroy my mind, but as I tell God, my soul's sweet. My soul's sweet, and the sweet makeup of my soul, it's like trying to make a bad recipe. You can't put poison in a recipe if it's just all like sweetness and vanilla, and because the sweetness comes from God, you know, and that is all. God is all I rely on every day to get me through the day. So if I see nothing but greatness in Christ and goodness, then I focus on healing only, helping people to be better themselves, helping people to not be hard on themselves, helping people to not be negative, because to always see that higher power in them can rise above anything on the earth. So now they're coming up with this, there's aliens going to get you, there's something going to get you when you go. That's their fear talking. That's their fear. But while I'm here, I'm going to enjoy this higher greatness that created me, that will always be here, that is in my physical makeup, that nothing can take. Say that they're blinding me, but internally, I always see the light. The sun, God speaks to me through the sun. I know He's a part of the sun. And He's, on days I talk, He'll just make it brighter and brighter and brighter. We have an infinite connection. And unholy, unspeakable things cannot infiltrate me, because I'm a 53-year-old woman and I have been grounded in Christ since my creation. So then they're saying, well, we want you to give us a part of your heart or something. Nothing they take from me will be used for anything dark. They can't get magic from me because it's grounded in Christ. My heart is created by Christ. And every day I tell Him, no matter what happens, this vessel is all Him and all His. So, I'm being murdered. I wish somebody could tell me, oh, if you go here, those weapons can't reach you. This group can't kill you. But I think that would be a fairy tale. That would be expecting something that can't come true. These monsters have destroyed the world and they're going to run the whole planet. I wish to God someone could tell me how I could get hope. I've contacted the police. I've contacted the FBI. I've called CIA. I've called Homeland Security and begged them to stop these people from being able to attack me and my dad in our home. I go over to his house last night, and all of a sudden he's talking about his past, telling me stories, great stories. The next thing I know, he goes, do you hear that sound? And I heard this static sound like they put in my house real strong when they're attacking my brain. I guess they're using Wi-Fi or something, but they also come on my property and do something to make it stronger. And sometimes before, if I get a detective to come here to investigate from out of state, like California, they'll come the night before, break in, and remove whatever it is they're using. But it's something that lets them piggyback something in to control my brain. So it's at my dad's house, so strong. And they found radio waves here that went to 2 different cities. Detectives said that shouldn't be here. 2 different detectives said there's radio waves in your house that are used for like sinister purposes that aren't going to radio stations or anything. It's something bad. And a force that they put here when they sent somebody on Bob's side of the family to come for a visit that we hadn't seen, and I hadn't seen in 10 years. And then the day they left, all my computer monitor images were leaning toward the front window to the left. They said there's something they put in here to be able to infiltrate my brain and do these weird experiments that have to do with that. And so it's in my dad's house, and I go over there, and last night we were talking, and I was hoping that he could make a recovery from the attacks they made on him, and he's doing the best he can. You know, they weakened his heart, but he's been taking medicine since they gave him a heart attack, and so now they're attacking him again and telling me they're going to kill him and make me watch because they get off on it. and make me suffer. And he said, "Do you hear that sound?" And I heard it. And next thing I know, he just drops his head and he shuts his eyes. And I said, Dad, what is it? Wake up, come to. And he tries to come to, and he opens his eyes back up, and he looks at me, drops his head again, eyes closed. He went from perfectly calm, perfect sense, talking to me for over an hour, telling me everything about the past, to upset, enraged, angry, not knowing why, and all of a sudden telling me I had to leave. And I said, "What's wrong, Dad? What the sudden change in your mood and everything? You gotta leave. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. You gotta leave." But it was anger. He woke up after they did something to his brain, and anger. And so I left, and I went back later, and he was sweeping the floor. The house was spotless. It looked great. And he had totally changed. And then they sent me more pictures of his brain and my brain and our hearts being controlled by puppet strings. I don't think there's anywhere in the world that I can go to save our lives. I really don't. If you know of any place that I can get away from these weapons and this evil group, will you please let me know? But I will not be evil like they try to get me to, and I cannot change the Christ that's in me. And why would I want to? They're full of destruction and fury. They said, "You'll be our weapon." I'm not a weapon. I am a human being, and God designed me with everything I need inside to live my days until I die. He even made my body so it replenishes itself. He made me have a good heart, and as long as I fight to try to keep my mind stable and not let them infiltrate it, try to communicate with me by breaking it down, to try to give me evil commands, which they're doing, I am so happy with who I am. But if I was to develop a temper, if I was to hurt someone, I would be crushed. And I wouldn't forget it a year from now. I wouldn't forget it. It would make me feel guilty indefinitely unless I ask God forgiveness. And if I lose my temper because they're doing something to make me have that anger, I hold myself accountable. And it really makes me hate myself. And I'm the kind of person, I don't know why, but ever since I was small, if I get angry, if I get sick, I hate myself. I used to not want to get ill. I really turn against myself. And I've kind of gotten away from that, but there's something in me. I don't know if it's that I can't stand to not be active. I feel loss of control if I'm sick. But instead of getting afraid or feeling pity, I get mad at myself for being sick. So I have already grounded myself through all the things that I need to feel like a worthy human being and to feel like I can get through life without hating myself or hurting anyone or making anyone's life bad. I don't have the energy to waste in negative thought. I don't ever want to be a weapon with my body unless it's to protect my life or my home. I don't. And people that get off on it, that's their rush, but not mine. And sadly, people are being trained to use their bodies as a weapon. They're trying to get me to contaminate my body by having sex with different men. My body is clean. And when people say that their body is a temple of Christ, I suppose they mean that you're your own separate entity, your own entity. And you are created clean from conception. And sex is very sacred. It involves sharing energy and germs and all sorts of stuff. Now, if you respect yourself, then you treat your body good. And they try to get me to trash my body. And they got people hooked on drugs. They got people cutting themselves up. And they send me pictures and try to convince me to cut myself. People that don't feel connected to God, that don't relish their higher being, that don't relish the greatness within, hurt themselves. And if they're told to hurt themselves by monsters that want to use them for some force to battle other people because they love to fight, and they're using these people like trash to hurt them for their own self-gain, these people can't see that because apparently they were never taught. But I'm intelligent enough to know who God is. I'm intelligent enough to respect my being. And so they're not going to stop until I'm dead. because I have a good brain. I use my higher conscience. I have a faith in goodness in life. I believe that truth and light will prevail only because